Steve Dotto here, and welcome to the next installment of growing your YouTube channel to 100,000 subscribers. And this is a week where we actually have passed another milestone on our journey towards the 100K mark, as we passed the 30,000 subscriber mark last week. Which to all of you who are subscribing to the channel, I have to thank you so much for your support. And we're just continuing to chug along, like 3,000. It's about 3,000, about a little over 100 subscribers a day. It's not going to get us to the 100,000 this year, which was my original goal, but darn it, it's good and steady growth here on the channel. Now, before we go on, I want to do a quick shout out and thank all of my Patreon supporters. This channel is crowdfunded, and you might notice that this particular video series now, growing our YouTube channel to 100,000 subscribers, is ad-free, other than a little promotional verbal thing, which I'm doing right now. But as far as AdSense ads or any of the other sort of in-product ads, I have stripped them all out of all the videos I'm creating in this particular series, because our Patreon supporters are stepping up big time, and we're getting some terrific support. So if you haven't yet checked out the Dottotech Patreon page, please do so. Crowdfunding is a great option for channels like this. For as little as $1 a month, you can ensure that the flow of content continues on through. And because we are getting support there, we don't have to look for corporate sponsorship, and we're able to start taking some of the ads out of some of our different properties. So that is all very exciting. So thank you all for that. Let's get into the content today. And I don't have a single theme that I wanted to talk about today, because lots has been happening in the YouTube world in the last couple of weeks, and also to our channel, of course. So I guess let's start with the big announcements that came from YouTube. YouTube made an announcement a week and a bit ago that they kind of gave us a really nice peek at what they're planning on doing, at some of the different features that they're planning on adding, which as creators allows us to think strategically and to start to plan a little bit for the future. And this is terrific. So they're doing a little video where they kind of walk through everything. If you haven't yet viewed their video, their creator preview, I definitely would. You'll notice some changes to our channel structure as well, which I'll talk about. Well, let's talk about that right now. If we go to my YouTube channel here, one of the things that's changed is there used to be a series up here there used to be a series of options for going to things like for going into the video manager and that sort of stuff. They're basically putting it all under something now called Creator Studio, which if we select Creator Studio for our channel, it brings us into the main dashboard area here with all of your different options. And so rather than navigating to view what your figures are or go into the video manager through the links in the header, now we're going to be working right within the body of the window to do all those sorts of things. So if you want to go to your video manager, you just click here. So it's just navigation has changed slightly, and it's a little bit cleaner as far as YouTube is concerned. So that's kind of one subtle change, but it made me stop, and for the first couple of days I kept going up to the right hand side there to try and do things. Now the other big announcements that came through is they're planning a mobile app for creators that allow us to manage our channel from our smartphones or our tablets. I'm an iOS. My tablet is an iPad. That app hasn't come yet, but if you are in the Android world, you can go to Google Play and you can download the app. As soon as it comes on the Mac or comes in on the iPad, I'll do a demo of it, but I don't have that yet. So I'm hoping that it's going to be really awesome, because right now visiting your channel on a mobile device pretty much sucks. So that's a big deal. They're also increasing the video quality up to 60 frames per second for some YouTube channels, and they're also changing up some of the revenue. Two different revenue things are happening. One is they're changing up how musicians work as far as covering songs is concerned, which is an area that I don't really concentrate too much on since I'm not a musician. But there's some substantial changes coming in that space. Of more relevance to me is the fact that, and possibly to you, is the fact that they are adding a fan funding program. And you can sign up right now for the beta. It's only being delivered right now in USA, Mexico, Japan, and Australia. So if you're watching me from one of those countries, you can sign up and use it right now. For those of us in Canada, UK, and other countries that are watching, we can put in an application, and then once it's available in our area, or for beta, I guess, they will let us know and we can start. This is a really interesting step for YouTube, because it allows us to start doing the sorts of things that we're doing in Patreon, but doing it right within YouTube. So the question is going to be, for Patreon and for people who are embracing that crowdfunding model, is does the kind of the community spirit of a Patreon outweigh the business acumen and solid nature of YouTube and Google as a business partner? And this is going to be a really interesting voyage of discovery for us all to figure out what our fan base, how our fan base is most comfortable. And a lot of us, I imagine, will have hybrid systems where we have both, where we're dealing with both platforms. I don't really like that too much, because it means that we're dividing our attention between, multiple delivery systems. So we'll see how much of a community site this becomes, the way Patreon has become very much a community site, or we'll see if it's just like a tip jar, if it's something that where people are just going to be sending us a little bit of money. YouTube says it's going to be very different than Patreon. I think it's not going to be. I think at the end of the day, they're looking at what Patreon's doing and the noise that they've made in the marketplace, and they're saying, and the fact that their creators are turning to that as a viable business model. YouTube says, no, stay within the family, stay here, and we'll give you those same tools. And that's a powerful message, especially with how laissez-faire Patreon is about kind of applying real business polish to their service. It's a good service. I like it. I like working with them, but they don't create the best impression that they're that they have real solid business behind them. They're creative, they're young, they're energetic, they've got great ideas, but they don't seem to be down on that process thing. And if you've watched their last video, their last webinar, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. It wasn't the most professionally presented webinar in the history of webinars, and certainly I expected more from a company that had just received $15 million in funding, as far as respecting our time and having an agenda of what they were going to lay out to us. So now, if you go to this, I'll include this link in the document beneath, or in the notes beneath. But if you are interested in signing up to be a beta tester of YouTube's fan funding, why did I say fan funding, you can indeed do it right here. So that's something that I'm going to do this as soon as we're done. I'm going to apply, and when it comes, we'll be testing it out, and we will be talking about it, you can be sure, in growing your YouTube channel to 100,000 subscribers. Now, let's stay on the funding concept for a few moments, and let's have a chat about one of the other things that has kind of risen into my attention this week. I started delivering a course. I've developed a course teaching people how to grow their YouTube channel, and it's a 2-month course. You might have heard about it. I did a webinar that led into the course, and we've had some good, really nice traction as we've delivered the course the very first time, and I have my first cohort now, partway through the delivery of the course, and it seems to be going quite well. It's actually a really unique delivery system. I'm sending out an email a day with a task for them to do in YouTube, and all of those emails, all those tasks are based in Evernote. So at the end of the course, they actually have an Evernote notebook, which is very cool, which is basically their whole syllabus for the course in that notebook. See, don't I sound like a teacher? I'm using words like syllabus and stuff like that. Developing courses just changes your whole outlook on life. Professor Dotto here. Now, the student mix that I've ended up with in this first cohort is really a lot of people at the early beginning of their journey into YouTube, which I love the fact that we can get them started in the right direction. Some people are just building their channel, don't have any subscribers yet. There's a group of them that have 3, 4, 5, just single digits or early double digits subscribers. And for them, they're looking to grow to 100 subscribers, what they would consider to be success, which is great. I mean, these are attainable goals, and they're tangible, and they're also worth working towards. So they're starting to build their communities. A few others are a little bit more mature in the process, and they have hundreds of subscribers looking to grow into, starting to get that 4 digits, starting to get to the 1,000 and beyond as far as the subscribers goes. So a really nice mix. Now, the one thing that I've noticed, and that's kind of bothered me in the early days, is as I visited each of their channels, a number of my students are monetizing their videos, which I have no problem with people monetizing their videos. Obviously, I do that myself as a business case. But they're monetizing their videos when they're getting very little views, very few views. 2, 3, 4 views on a video. You start watching the video, and an ad is the first thing that appears. And here's the issue. It's all about optics that I have an issue. And I hope that people don't feel that I'm coming down on them because I'm telling them they're not ready for this yet. But they're not ready for this yet. The optics of social proof, the concept of social proof. Social proof is what happens when we when we see a Facebook page or a Facebook post, and there's 300 likes to it. We read it. If there's 3 likes to it or no likes to it, we might not give it the same weight. Similarly, when we visit a video, if we see that a couple of hundred people have watched it, or it has a couple of hundred likes or a couple of thousand likes, we recognize that the community has spoken, social proof has been applied, and this video has value and we should pay attention to it. If it has less views, it's probably less worthwhile. And this is patently unfair because obviously as soon as a video is launched, it's not going to have a lot of views. I've got a great, phenomenal new video up right now, and it's been up for an hour. It's got 62 views. If you just look at it and don't look at the fact that it's been up for an hour and it's a Dotto video and only has 62 views, and most of his videos have hundreds or thousands or tens of thousands of views, you may be going, what's the matter with this video? So there is, it's an unfair thing at the very beginning. But the bottom line is we are viewing lemmings as far as that's concerned. We do look for the social proof. We look for channels that have more subscribers and think there must be more value there, and videos with more views must have more value. Consequently, when we view a video that has lots and lots of views and there's an ad attached, we can see the business model behind it and we can kind of go, okay, I'm willing to wait because the social proof is there. If a video's only been viewed 7 times and there's an ad and you look at the channel and it only has 12 subscribers, you kind of go, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? It's they're not going to make any money from their channel. They're going to make so little money that YouTube is going to cut, or Adsense is going to cut them a check maybe once a year. They're going to reach a threshold where it's worth making a payment. So I think in order to maturely work towards growing your channel, that you have to kind of, for a period of time, eschew any hope of revenue and not look at revenue as potential until you hit a certain threshold. Now, I don't know what that threshold is. It depends on whether you're a hobby or whether you're growing it as a business. If you're growing it as a hobby and you want to make $20 a month from your channel to help pay for your internet service fees, great. Once you hit a couple hundred views and then maybe 1,000 or 1,500 subscribers, go for it. Add your AdSense ads and make that little bit of money that's going to help you pay for your ISP. If you're in business, wait till you're in the thousands of views, or at least thousands of subscribers and many hundreds of views on your videos before you start attaching revenue. And then only attach revenue if that's your only source of income. If your videos are designed to generate income. If you're selling yourself as a business coach, or if you're selling yourself as a graphics designer, or if you're selling yourself in some space like that and you're using your YouTube channel to build your brand, you should never be adding advertising to those videos because the view is what you're looking for. You're looking to prove that you have capability and you have chops in a certain area and you want people to follow you and to watch you and to know that you're credible and hopefully contact you and maybe do business with you. So adding ads to those sorts of videos is almost insulting to the people who are watching them. Maybe not overtly insulting, but you can see where I'm coming from as far as that's concerned. So I really encourage you to take a long and hard look at how you are going to apply revenue to your videos before you do so. Does that seem fair? I hope so. And with that, those are the main topics that I wanted to cover today. Yeah, we hit 30,000 subscribers. It's a party this week. Let's even, we're gonna forego encouraging you to subscribe to the site and all that sort of stuff that I do at the very end, because I believe that most people watching this series are already subscribers. But if you're not a subscriber yet, please do subscribe. And here's what I'm going to start asking this group to do, is the next stage in growing a channel, now that I've got good traction as far as new subscribers, new people are discovering my video, I'm doing good in search, I need the fans, the super fans, the people who really like this content and find it valuable in their business and their circle, to start sharing the videos. This is a space that I haven't encouraged people to do. But if you, in the YouTube window here, if you're viewing this in YouTube, if you look down just above where the show notes are, or where the notes are, there's a share. There's a series of social sharing options that you have. So you can share this onto your Facebook page, into your Google Plus page, so you can share this video. So that's my call to action for you, is share it. Especially if you're in a group where you guys are talking about YouTube and you're with people who are interested in growing their presence on YouTube. Share it with those groups, and let's see if we can't get some additional growth happening as a result of that. That's what I'm asking for you, and I thank you if you help me out in that space. Until next week then, I'm pretty much wrapped. I'm Steve Dotto. Have fun storming a castle.